The foundation of development, procurement, and SCM. Procurement and supply chain management are essential for any nation's development. They are the backbone of infrastructure projects, healthcare systems, and public service delivery. When functioning effectively, procurement ensures that governments acquire goods and services at the best possible value for their citizens. This means obtaining high-quality goods and services at competitive prices. A well-managed supply chain ensures these goods reach their intended recipients on time and in good condition. Effective procurement and SCM contribute directly to good governance and economic growth. They foster transparency and accountability, making it difficult for corruption to thrive. When resources are used efficiently and effectively, it builds trust between governments and their citizens. This trust is fundamental for attracting foreign investment and stimulating economic development. However, the integrity of these systems is under constant threat from political interference. This interference, often driven by patronage and personal gain, undermines the very principles of fairness and transparency that procurement should uphold. The consequences are far-reaching, impacting not only the efficiency of service delivery, but also eroding public trust in government institutions. When politicians interfere in procurement, it creates a breeding ground for corruption. Contracts may be awarded not based on merit, but on political connections. This results in inflated costs, substandard goods and services, and ultimately a betrayal of the public trust. Political interference in procurement takes many forms, each with its own corrosive effect. One common tactic is meddling in the recruitment and hiring process for procurement officials. By installing unqualified individuals with political connections, those in power can manipulate the system from within. These unqualified personnel lack the expertise to negotiate effectively, manage own teams, manage contracts, or resist pressure from their political patrons. This manipulation has a ripple effect throughout the entire supply chain. With compromised procurement processes, delays become commonplace. Essential goods and services arrive late, disrupting projects and vital public services. Costs spiral out of control as inflated contracts become the norm. Moreover, the quality of goods and services procured is often compromised, jeopardizing the effectiveness of government programs and putting citizens at risk. Beyond these immediate logistical and financial implications, political interference has a far more insidious effect. It erodes the rule of law. Judicial bribery, where legal decisions are bought and sold, becomes another tool for those seeking to manipulate procurement processes for personal gain. Procurement fraud, including bid rigging, kickbacks, and over-invoicing, flourishes in an environment where accountability is absent. This toxic combination of interference and corruption creates a vicious cycle. It discourages ethical businesses from participating in public procurement, fearing unfair competition and reputational damage. This leaves a void often filled by unscrupulous actors willing to engage in corrupt practices, further cementing the culture of impunity. The detrimental effects of political interference in procurement are starkly evident in many countries across the globe. Nigeria, for instance, has long grappled with this challenge. Political interference in the hiring of procurement officials has resulted in a system plagued by inefficiencies and vulnerabilities to corruption. This has had a devastating impact on the country's ability to deliver essential services to its citizens. In South Africa, recent debates surrounding the state-owned enterprises have raised serious concerns about potential increases in political interference. Critics argue that the bill's provisions, particularly those granting exemptions from certain procurement regulations, could open the door to further manipulation and lack of transparency. This has sparked fears that political agendas will take precedence over the efficient and accountable management of vital public resources. Both countries have witnessed high-profile cases of judicial bribery and procurement fraud, highlighting the systemic nature of this challenge. These cases often involve vast sums of public funds, depriving citizens of essential services and undermining faith in government institutions. The fight against corruption in procurement is not just about financial integrity. It's about safeguarding the very fabric of democracy and ensuring that governments serve the interests of their people. In recent years, both Nigeria and South Africa have taken steps to combat these challenges. New anti-corruption measures, including the establishment of specialized task forces and enhanced whistleblower protections, demonstrate a commitment to addressing this issue. However, these measures are only a first step in a long and arduous journey. Addressing the pervasive issue of political interference in procurement requires a multi-pronged approach. Strengthening institutional frameworks is paramount. This includes ensuring the independence of procurement agencies and providing them with the necessary resources and authority to operate effectively. Transparent and accountable processes with clear guidelines and regulations are crucial for deterring corruption. Equally important is fostering a culture of transparency and accountability. This involves empowering citizens to hold their leaders accountable and demanding greater transparency in government operations. Independent media and civil society organizations play a critical role in scrutinizing public procurement and exposing wrongdoing. Enhancing the capacity of anti-corruption agencies, providing them with the necessary resources and independence to investigate and prosecute cases of corruption, is essential. International cooperation is also crucial for sharing best practices, tracking illicit financial flows, and holding perpetrators accountable. Robust asset recovery mechanisms are vital for recovering stolen funds and deterring future corruption. Ultimately, combating political interference in procurement is not just a technical or legal challenge, it is a societal one. It requires a collective commitment from governments, citizens, civil society, and the private sector to uphold the principles of transparency, accountability, and integrity. Only through a concerted and sustained effort can we ensure that procurement processes serve their intended purpose, delivering essential services to citizens and fostering sustainable development.